Nerds International proudly presents
Welcome to the 3T RPG podcast. My name is Harrison Hunt, and with me is Nick Lamley.
Hey!
And this is a podcast all about tabletop RPGs. If my voice sounds a bit deep, it's because I was drinking last night.
Yes, microbrewery.
Yep, it was, oh my god.
Ponsington.
We went to the most poncy brewery on the planet, and the amount of, the hipsters, they have that little twiddly mustache.
Oh my god, when it's actually been like...
I saw a group of 5 people come in, every single one of them had that.
No! Little twiddling going, sir, good sir!
Oh, this ale is served at 81 degrees.
My kind of place.
It was really weird, yeah. They have a board up with all the ales, and then it's like, each one, it tells you what temperature it's served at. It was really... sorry, can't say that. It was really, really
not high
strange.
school anymore.
Yeah.
But it's the thing that made me laugh is like, imagine if there was like all these people coming in with twiddly moustaches and all that, and there's like, can evil plans be only done in that corner if you've got that kind of people coming in?
Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe it was like an evil genius meeting.
Exactly, yeah, it's getting together.
So I'm developing a new laser satellite.
Dr. Evil, you'll have your turn, but Dr. Wicked Nasty is talking.
Dr. Wicked Nasty. Now that's got to be a character in an RPG. So today on the show we have got feedback side, we got what you've been slaying, we got the main subject which is going to be the D&D adventure that nearly killed TSR.
Ooh.
And then we've got a new segment called the Gadgetarium, followed by Dragon or Blagging, and then Electro Letters.
Yes.
If that's not a jam-packed pod, I don't know what is.
No, I don't know. I've not seen a jam-packed pod so packed as this pod.
Since 2019.
Pods. Yes, since 2019.
No way. But anyway, let's get on to feedback in that case.
Yes.
The feedback side. The feedback side. Yes, bitch, the feedback side. It's the feedback section.
Yeah, we take your comments and read them out. Yeah, feedback, bitch.
So last podcast, we were talking about an RPG that costs £200 and it only comes in one edition that is £200. And we were discussing whether or not it was Monty Cook who made that game.
Yep.
And Terry Hansen writes in to tell us, you are correct, it is Monty Cook. So I did a little bit of research into this. It's called Invisible Sun.
Yep.
It's a £200 RPG. It's got 400 books, which total 600 pages. Which, bear in mind, is only 100 pages more than DCC, which is 25 quid.
Yeah.
But it comes with 4 books, 1,000 cards, which is way too many cards to be dealing with, a tarot deck that you need to play the game, dice, 2 cloth mats, a hand statue to hold the current card, which is in play.
I see. Oh, is that what that's for?
Yeah.
That thing there. Or
a GM notebook, a character grimoire pad, so it's like a big character record thing, which is nice.
That's cool.
You get one, right? So it's got 5 pre-gens, an art book, and a free app.
Free app.
Ooh. Yeah, but that made me laugh because one of the big justifications Monty Cook gave for the high price was that your whole group would buy it. Imagine opening it up and being like, yes, character grimoire. Oh, wait, there's just one.
There's just one. And then everyone starts looking at each other funny. Who's taking that one home then? That's the problem, though. It's like, it's all well and good, you want to invest a bit of money, and especially, like, say you've got 4, a table of 4 or a table of 5, you're looking at 50, in excess of maybe 50 quid each. What happens when either the party breaks down, or someone wants to leave, or the game breaks down? Who they take a part each?
Well, that's the trouble.
I'm having a lid.
I'm taking the grimoire. Get the fuck away. The funny thing is that obviously a lot of groups break down quite quickly anyway, so trying to get people to invest in that I think was a bad move. The one cool thing I did like about it is the box is a big black cube, and it's just called the Black Cube.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think it's an in-game item, but that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But there's no way I'm ever going to check it out for $200.
No, it's I looked at the pictures of it on Amazon and stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Again,
it looks impressive.
It looks impressive. Monty Cox.
Monty Cox.
Whoopsie. Monty Cooks obviously make a decent quality product, sure. But yeah, I think
just get Cypher. Cypher system.
Yeah, Cypher, yeah, just do it.
Next feedback comes in from Jamie Pearson, boss of the network. He says, yo, I just listened to your awards show and wondered why you guys even voted on Wasteland Warfare. It's a skirmish game, not an RPG game. And I can explain, it's because it is an RPG game as well.
It's a bit of both.
It's both. So you can get the RPG expansion, and also it's our awards show, and we can nominate whatever we want.
Yeah, boss.
Because it's sort of role-playing adjacent anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, There's an RPG expansion for it, and that's why we judged it harshly.
I still can't believe that I actually saw your picture that you showed me of the actual cards, and I was like, it can't be that bad. Like,
It's like
just hire an artist. I mean, I know the minis are good, but they'll see the minis when they buy them. Just hire an artist for the
or
cards,
just
or paint
hire,
them,
yeah, because
or a painter.
the cards, the artwork on them is unpainted.
It just
minis.
looks so wrong because the card's full of colour, and then the actual like profile picture is just an unpainted mini face.
At least paint the fucking mini. I get that it's not going to be the same as your painting, whatever like colour scheme you've gone for.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is just put some artwork on there.
Oh,
then.
mate.
Because even if you did black and white artwork, it would be better
It
than
would
that.
look cooler. We got another one that just come in last night, actually, I think, on
nice.
feedback. And this is from Manny Geraldson. And this person says, I like you, sure, but I think that having done the science, it is not as good for me. Thank you for everything. Goodbye.
Okay. I don't know what to make of that one. So I think I like your show, but having done...
I like you, sure, but I think that having done the science, it's not as good.
That
for
is
me.
fair. This podcast doesn't stand up to scientific scrutiny.
It's true, yes.
It's scientifically bad.
We've been debunked scientifically numerous times.
amazing.
But thank you very much, Manny.
Well, he's not going to listen, is he?
Well, you're not going to listen. You
He's
mustn't hear that, are you?
out.
Yeah, I could just picture like a big whiteboard full of fucking
That has to
calculations.
be the weirdest feedback we've ever received.
That's why I had to like strong arm it in there.
Yeah. Next one is going to be from Bobby Evans.
Oh, shit.
Now, if you remember, this is the guy who won shittest Kickstarter stretch goal because... I'll try and explain, but he basically on his Kickstarter it was Savage Worlds for beginners, but it looks like Savage Swelds for beginners. And he actually messages in saying that the fact that you're still milking the Swelds thing is a bit sad. And milking is it's a bit weird because we haven't talked about it ever until the end of the year show, which is a look back at the year.
And we're not getting anything out of it other than a laugh.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, I don't think he understands the format of like a look back at the year. He's like, that was months ago. It's like, okay, but we can still nominate stuff even if it came out in January.
Yeah, it's for the whole year.
And bear in mind, some of the stuff we nominated didn't even come out that year.
Well, we said that. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Yeah, well,
it's
anyway.
a bit sad. Well, we are a bit sad.
Yes, we are. But the Swells thing was hilarious.
It was funny.
And I loved when people got banned from the Savage Worlds Facebook group from saying Swells jokes anymore, and they all said, I'm sworry.
I'm so
That was
sworry.
the main funny part. But anyway,
Everyone loves a good pun.
sorry, Bobby.
Yeah, sorry, Bob.
But don't. Ryan Wahab comes in next. He says, hey guys, I just finished the 2019 awards show. Absolutely outstanding. Your podcast is easily my favourite and your APs are brilliant. Thank you for the information. Your awards shows always tip me off to great news systems and shows. Please keep on making this show. I'll keep supporting however I can. And then he invites us out for a beer in his hometown.
Yeah.
So if we're ever in, I can't remember.
Can't remember
the
where it
town,
was now, but it's, but we need
We'll
to.
go out of Wahab.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He became a character in one of our
Risey,
APs,
yeah, I was going to say Ryan Wahab's been in our
Yes, thank you
APs.
very much for the kind feedback.
Yep.
And I think that's about it. We did have one more. He
Oh,
says-
Mike Morrison.
Mike Morrison. He says, I turned it off when you said you were anti-insane clown posse.
Not me, Mike.
That was me. That was all me. But
He's anti-juggalo.
I am, though. I am. I can't budge on that.
It was their wrestling career that really made it for me.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Good Lord.
Oh, mate.
I don't know how anyone takes that stuff seriously. I saw a great video. I'll probably use it as a sound clip during this, but there's a video online of this guy's coming out to his dad as a furry, and he for some reason decides to record it, and his dad he's like, "What the fuck is this, son? Is this gay? Is this gay? Look, I was perfectly fine when you were into that insane clown shit." And I was like, that's the type of people that it attracts. So yeah, that's why I'm anti-insane clown posse.
Because next step, furry. It's a gateway drug to furriness.
The next step is furry, and then it's those people you see in documentaries that are like having sex with a fence or something.
And then you got hot gunning, or what was it?
What's
Glue
that?
glue
Oh,
gunning.
no, don't
Then you got
even.
glue gunning, and then
can't-
you got what's that last one? Vor.
I can't believe you mentioned glue gunning. That is the act of...
No, don't tell them. Let them find out.
Yeah, Google it if you're over 18.
And I don't know about this. I heard about this on a podcast.
I'm not a practitioner of it. I've never done it, Your Honour.
I've never glue gunned. I promise.
All right, let's get on to what we've been playing.
Yeah.
Dad, I've been wanting to tell you this for a while now, but guys, it's kind of hard to say. I'm a brony.
The hell is that?
I watch My Little Pony, Dad.
What?
I watch My Little Pony with my friends. I'm a brony.
That's really gay.
And have one of these!
Oi, yeah? What you slaying?
Whoop.
So first of all, fuck this mic. I couldn't get into the right position. So first of all, I want to talk about my Christmas Fallout game that wasn't mine. It was my brother's.
Yeah.
So my brother runs a Cthulhu game once a year, and for the first time he changed it to Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
So we ended up playing Fallout, and essentially we were a bunch of sort of Cub Scouts, like surviving Cub Scouts in the Fallout universe called the Crickets, or I think it was like the Brave Crickets. Or
Okay,
something like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And we're Cub Scouts basically, and we're all playing the Cub leaders.
kids.
And we have to find a Christmas dinner for our encampment, and that's basically it. So not only do we have to find a Christmas dinner, but we also have to hunt down the remaining parts of a mini golf course that we have there. And it was pretty crazy and pretty stupid, but yeah. What was really great was there were only 2 role players at the table. Everyone else had either played once or never.
Oh yeah, you had newbies, didn't you?
So
Yeah.
we sort of got them into Savage Worlds and playing the Fallout game, and they did really, really well because a couple of them have only ever, it was their first time playing. They were having such fun and really went mad with it. And there was a point we went into the Super Duper Mart looking for ingredients for the Christmas dinner, and this girl who's never played before, she was like, okay, I want to roll intimidation to try and intimidate them to get their stuff. And I was like, okay. I said to her, you have to describe what you're doing. She goes, okay, I'll pick one of them up and bowl him down the aisle. We were like, okay, fair enough.
Yes, that's perfect. You'll be a great role player.
Yeah, so she got like a couple of razors on it.
Yeah.
So my brother's like, yeah, you pick his ass up, you bowl him down the aisle, and then she turns around like screaming at the fucking raiders. We get loads of things like we get like veg in a can. We couldn't find any meat, so we had human meat in the end.
Mate, yeah.
But one of the things is we got sprouts, and my mate Cleve, it was his first time playing as well. He was playing a robot, and he's like, everyone hates sprouts, and he throws it out the window. We couldn't find them again.
Never to be seen
But
again.
another cool move that happened was that same girl, the one it was her first time, right? We were on the roof. There was a bunch of rad scorpions coming towards the market, and as they were coming towards us, she does a big line of petrol in the sand, and then just as they come in, she lights it. So there's this big wall of fire, flaming rad scorpions come towards us, kills 5 of them instantly.
Nice.
But yeah, in the end, everyone died because we went to the sports store to get the rest of the mini golf course and got munted by Deathclaws.
Deathclaws, yeah.
That's how my brother rolls. If you don't have a TPK in one of his games, it's genuinely surprising.
He's upset. Yeah.
It was really fun, and it was very, very silly. But once again, we have a returning character, and all of my brother's Fallout one shots is Gary Busey.
Oh my God.
And I played him, and there was a point where somebody had to tell me, can you just stop doing the tongue thing, because I kept on going, let's go, motherfuckers.
You go. It must be done with Gary.
Yeah, I think it was because Katie was sitting opposite me, and so she took the brunt of it. She was
bless
looking right at
Oh.
it.
But it was an absolute success. A massive hit.
Rousing success.
Yeah,
All of us
excellent.
got pissed. We had fun. Like, it was a silly game where we just did silly shit. I mean, there was a point where Cleve was playing a schizophrenic robot.
Oh, mate.
Because he was a robo-brain, so it's technically a human brain and a robot who had schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And there was a point where the sort of illness took over, and he just spins his arms around, knocks a child's head off in the camp, and we were like, right, we better get this fucking mini-golf shit, because they're going to be pissed off.
That's going to go down well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
good. Nice
And
one, John.
our ongoing D&D campaign is going
Yep.
on. So
Oh, yeah.
this is our game where the heroes have come into possession of a disused zoo and have to populate it with monsters.
Yep.
And we had a very, very fun session, the last one that you were in, where essentially they were trying to resurrect one of their friends, and so they had to get Illithidika from the Underdark, the
Yep.
blood of a holy man, and 2 pints of goblin blood.
Yep.
So they had to go down and go into like a little goblin warren and try and
Decimate it.
decimate it. Yeah. I tried to, because I knew they were really high level for goblins, so I tried
Yeah.
to make it a bit more fun by putting the stakes a bit more different.
Oh,
So
yeah,
When
definitely.
they finally got into the goblins' like final resting place or lair or whatever you call it, they had a portal there, and they were trying to summon something as they came in.
Oh,
and
mate.
at every round, the portal was getting more mental.
Yeah.
So it wasn't can you kill the goblins? It's can you do it in 3 rounds or something's coming through.
Something's coming through, yeah. And it was incredible, some incredible, like handmade battle furniture and maps. Because Harrison's been doing all this crafty
I've
stuff
been into
recently.
getting into terrain and
And
stuff.
it's so cool, yeah. So we had like a proper little glowing portal and that, and it was well. Check the photos out there.
Everyone stopped the game to sort of shine their lights in the back of the portal and stuff. Yeah, that was funny.
It was awesome.
But one of the highlights, and I'm about to make jokes about things people shouldn't make jokes about. But the thing about it is that so Ryan, there's this big hole leading down into the goblin lair, It's got bodies on chains, and you have to climb down the chains to get down there.
Yeah.
Ryan's at the top of it. His character Grant, he's like, so what do goblins like? And I said, just roll intelligence. Let's see if you know what they like.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's he up to? And I said, okay, they like pillaging, raping, looting. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna track them up here, lads. Watch this. And he goes, oh, there's a good rape going on up here.
Oh, right, a bit of rape up here.
And then he starts going, oh, stop that, no.
Thinking that the goblins will be like, ooh,
Oh, sounds good up there. Let's go up there. It's awful. It's awful, and we shouldn't laugh about it. But
No.
it was quite funny.
it was a stupid, fictional character's idea.
It was great, and
And it was funny.
the funny thing is he's a cowboy builder, so he's one of those like dodgy tradesmen.
Yeah.
And he's recently ripped off a very very posh landowner by doing up his mansion badly, and so they
Yeah.
come into possession of 10k of gold, and that comes later on to bite them in the arse. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But they've come into possession of 10k of gold, and they can use it on the zoo. They've made it look nicer. They bought, instead of buying horses to draw their carriage, they've got an elephant
Yeah,
now
yeah.
called, what's his name? Ben Trunks.
Oh, Ben Trunks, yeah, and he's got a bloody there's a little house on the top. Yeah, we built a little
like
house
litter.
on him. Yeah.
And obviously Nick has Speak with Animals, so he was talking to Ben last time, but all everyone saw is them going.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And they got the goblin blood. They resurrected their old mate Stanley.
Oh my God,
And then
yeah.
what happens? They're just as they're coming out, fucking. There's this old demon that they made a deal with and didn't come good on their deal.
No.
And he's marching into town with an orc army.
Yeah, with heavy metal music playing.
Yeah. The orc bards, they had electric guitars.
Oh mate, it was so good. Well, it scared the shit out of us because it was it's like we knew this would come to get us in the end because we're like really gonna bail on a deal with a demon. Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, I was surprised how quickly everyone agreed to that. They were just
Well,
like-
I didn't, but yeah,
and everyone sneaked past him, and he's come because he's the lowest of the low in terms of demonhood in Baldur's Gate, right? So if he gets seen to be dicked around by a bunch of adventurers, then it's bad. So he's got to like kill him.
can't lose face, can
But
it?
the worst thing was, right, so he turns up, the next game starts, right? And he turns up and the guy's like, okay, look, we should reason with him. We should try and call the war off. And the guy's a mushroom demon, right? And he comes to the side of the town. He goes, I don't want to destroy your town. I just wish to have those 5 adventurers, and I shall destroy them in the longest, most painful way possible. And the mayor they're like behind the militia at this point, and the mayor's like, well, you've done a lot for this town, boys, so it's your call. And they go out and try and reason with the demon. And what they do is they're like, look, mate, we'll give you 180 townspeople. And obviously all the townspeople are like, what? and then...
Are we?
And the mayor's like, actually, that's pretty much the population of the entire town. I don't think we can do that deal. So Ryan, his genius idea, with the character Grant Shaftesbury, his genius idea is to try and buy, because he's got that 10k, he tries to buy the Mushroom Guy's army right off him there and then. And he talks to like the chieftain of the orcs, and he goes, how much you paying you? I'll double it.
Nice.
The sad fact is he rolled terribly on it.
Oh, so it could have.
Yeah, essentially, it just pissed the mushroom demon off.
Yeah.
And he just went, right, charge! And that
Oh
was it.
god! But if it had gone successfully, he could have bought the army.
He could have bought the army and just turned it around. That would have been amazing.
That would have been hilarious.
I don't think he really had enough cash to make it worth their while.
No.
Yeah, essentially we started using the mass battle rules, and now these aren't ones that come with the game, but there's this guy called Dungeon Craft, has a great YouTube channel, and I nicked his mass battle rules. And the way
Nice.
it works is, I'll break it down into the scenes, but essentially you start up with the opening sortie. This is when all of the armies like clash together, and it's mental, it's unpredictable, and you just have to roll to survive it. So you have to get out of it and survive the opening sortie. If you fail, you take damage and you try again, and you keep doing that until you either die or get out.
Okay.
And that was amazing because it ended up with 2 people sort of slashing their way through instantly, and then one person was literally like, by the end of it, he was dying in the mud, like getting his face chewed off by somebody else,
mate.
while another guy was trying to drag him off. He didn't want to escape, so it's like, well, that counts as you still being in the battle, so you just definitely take damage. And both of them were like, fucking Ryan, right? His character, he has 49 HP. He's down to 8 in the first skirmish.
Oh my god.
So the second phase is skirmishes. So you play out all the little battles that are happening within all the fighting.
Yeah.
And I've got this thing that we've been using recently from the same channel actually, called Ultimate Dungeon Terrain, and it's a Lazy Susan, so a big circular board, and it's during the mass battle, everything outside of the circular board is fighting.
Okay,
So that's
yeah.
So this is like a little opening in the battle. So they burst out of the fucking opening sortie, and then they come into the first skirmish, which is outside the pub. They see the pub owner being dragged off by orcs, and they have to save him.
Yeah.
One of the orcs, to intimidate the other guys, he bashes him with his mace, but accidentally rolls really high, killing him instantly. So that is opening down. Oh shit! Yeah. And then everyone, so that pissed everyone off, and obviously the party runs forward, slays them, and then they had this bit where I thought, okay, you're gonna have to make a really hard choice. There's 2 skirmishes you can go for. On one side of town is Clint, this guy that they know, and his wife, being backed up against the cliff, nearly falling off, like trying to defend themselves. On the other side of town, it's the Sea Hag, who has helped them out a lot. She's resurrected you guys.
Yeah.
She's given you missions.
She's stolen our post.
She steals your mail.
Yeah. We've got a good relationship going on.
She's on the other side of the town, drawing power from the well to do spells, and is trying to defend herself. But people are closing in. She's getting surrounded. So they went both ways. Managed to do both skirmishes, and the final one is that they need to open up the gate in the town's fort to let the army in, so that they can overwhelm the orcs that have just taken over the fort. And the cool thing about this battle was it was 2 orc leaders, a bunch of orc like subordinates, and then 2 mushroom enemies, right? But one of the orcs throughout the battle, he was using this like holy symbol to, well, not holy,
was
but
like a shaman, wasn't he,
unholy
or
symbol,
whatever.
to blast people with it, and he kept on doing area of effect spells. For people to say that D&D isn't deadly, I'll say you ain't playing it right. Because what happened is that he fucking blasted a party with this spell. They were 2 of them went down. One of them was on, you know, if you get dead half your HP, like minus half your HP, it's just instant death.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course,
That's what happened to James's character, Keith Wegman. He just got blasted, area of effect, and then he was still in the area when he was going for the other 2 guys that were still up. He just died instantly.
Oh, mate.
He was a paladin, he's become an angel now.
He's an angel now.
So anyway, they opened the gate and let the local militia in, and they overwhelmed the orcs and they won the battle.
Nice.
But during the battle, one of the orcs kept on throwing his subordinates into advantageous positions. He was like, right, time to fly. And they were all fighting up on the ramparts, chucking people up onto the ramparts. Turns out he's got a belt of giant strength, so now you guys have got that.
Amazing.
Ryan's strength bonus is now +5.
Oh my god.
I know, it's crazy. He also had a bunch of other shit, but they've got a ring of sticks to snakes, so they can turn sticks
into snakes once a day. Yeah, that's it.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
bunch of cash.
Very last thing that happens after the battle, everything calms down, and then somebody they run for mayor for some reason because they say the mayor's done a shitty job. The town's been attacked, so one of the characters, Dee Dee, is now the mayor.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, then a couple of police turn up. They've got a summons for Grant to go to court because of the shitty building work he did earlier.
Yep, Fantasy Road Traders. So
next session we're doing a courtroom.
Case. Yes.
A court case. Which should be awesome.
What did Grant react to it?
He goes, oh, don't worry about that, mate. My contracts are tight as fuck. We'll be fine.
Oh, is that? Oh, right. Yeah, famous last words.
One of the other characters tried to eat the summons so that they wouldn't have to go, and obviously it was a tracked mail, and it was magically tracked.
So he's fucked, no?
Yeah. So now he's going to court as well
for meddling with bloody court documents.
Yeah, it was awesome. But the funny thing is, so Ryan's character, he's a cowboy builder, and he has this ability that's actually from the Acquisitions Incorporated book, where he gets advantage on deception rolls to forge documents. So all of his contracts, technically, are forgeries of proper contracts.
Yeah.
He also understands legalese as a language, which is awesome. But so he thinks... I remember what he rolled when he did that contract. He doesn't. And Ryan thinks, I'll be fine. And I'm like...
No, I remember too.
Yes,
great.
Okay, to be fair, the guy who wanted the building work, he accepted it. Will a court of law and a bunch of lawyers be
that was it, because that was hilarious as well, because he was like, oh, only that much? Fine. Way more than that.
It seemed wild that he would charge that amount and that the guy would pay it.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are in trouble.
Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble.
So we're doing a courtroom case next, and I'm still enjoying the campaign.
Oh, me too, mate.
2 new additions to the zoo. You've got an orc and an orc archer as well, so that's pretty cool.
Well, they're just some prisoners of war.
Yeah, well, no, I guess so, but they're just... Well, they're monsters, aren't they?
Yeah,
so they're in there now.
Yeah.
It's quite sad the amount of humanoid enemies that are in there that are semi-intelligent.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
They've got a skeleton gangster called Bones Malone, and they put him in an over-18s area because he swears at all the passers-by. He's like, I'm going to gut you, I'm going to kill you.
He's a fucker, but
that's our D&D game, man. if you want to play a game set in a zoo, play D&D. I'm enjoying the fuck out. It's a shame you missed that last session.
I know,
but you get to go in the courtroom one night.
I know. I did really want to. The whole mass battle sounded so cool because it was so easy to visualize in your mind. And I just watched that film, The King, as well, so that's full of big like medieval battles, and it was.
It was fun, man.
Yeah, it looked great. It sounded
mass battle rules. Check out Dungeon Craft's mass battles for D&D because they're really, really quite something.
Yeah.
They really nail the feel of a big battle.
Oh, mate.
But next up, let's talk about, because it was Christmas recently.
Christmas!
So let's talk about our gets.
Yeah.
And I want to do a get live on air. 'cause
Get
I got-
live.
I got some mail this morning.
Let's get live 2020. Come on.
Get live 2020. Oh, I know what this is. There it is.
What is it?
It's only the Fiend Folio.
What?
So, as far as I know, I'm not. this may be wrong, but as far as I know, so the Monster Manual can be considered your traditional monsters, right? The Fiend Folio is Gygax's weird ideas that haven't come from folklore or anything. It's just fucked
Just
up
him.
shit. And I believe that's where the Gilan comes from.
Oh, really?
Which is a zombie frozen in ice, for those that don't know.
Throat lech. Tigerfly.
So yeah, that's if you want weird monsters, that's where you go.
Fiend Folio. Yeah, that, oh my god.
A good example of one that's from the Fiend Folio is the Carbuncle, right? And it's a little armadillo that has a ruby on its head. It doesn't fear death, and as soon as somebody gets close to take the ruby off its head, it kills itself instantly.
My ruby. This is
Goodbye.
a big ape, but it's called a Dakon.
Oh yeah, Dakon, yeah.
Dark creeper.
But yeah, that was one of the things that I bought myself for Christmas, actually.
This is really cool.
It's awesome, isn't it? Yeah. I got it for the D&D game, because I was like, I need some weird ones.
Yeah, this is so cool.
But yeah, you got Betrayal on the House on the Hill for
I
Christmas,
did
didn't
get
you?
Betrayal on the House on the Hill, yeah. So my brother-in-law was kind enough to get it for me for Christmas, and reason being is he was talking to a friend of his at work, and they're big D&D players, and they said basically this was the board game that got them into role-playing.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So they played that game, loved the kind of RPG aspect to it, and then got into D&D off the back of it.
Very good.
So obviously my brother-in-law thought I would give it a bash. So yeah, he got into me. I'd like to do an episode on it because there's a lot to it. But in a nutshell, it's a cool board game where the first half of the game is exploring. You find new rooms. Each time you discover a room, a new floor tile goes down. There's 3 levels, blah, blah, blah. Very good fun. No one can die. Lots of exploring. And then at a certain point within the game when a mechanic is activated, the haunt starts. And then basically what that is you use a table to find what type of haunt it is. There's 50 of them in there, and it's almost like a little mini one-shot, if you like. It turns into a little mini RPG one-shot.
Because reading out the flavour text is part of what makes it really fun as well.
Exactly, yeah. And we did one, and it was kind of a Cthulhu-y one, I suppose, because it was like there was this kind of evil kind of head, and it had tentacles that could go through the whole mansion, and if it grabbed you and pulled you back to its head, the guys died, and then the players had to try and do some kind of a ritual to kill it, basically, before the time ran out. But the cool thing is, yeah, one player becomes the betrayer, and the rest of the players become the hero. So in the second phase of the game, where it's an RPG element, it's like the betrayer and his monsters or whatever he's got, depending on the story you pull from the table, versus the rest of the team. Very good fun. It's got agility rolls in it. It's got madness. You can do attack rolls, all this kind of stuff. Drop items, pick up items. And all that.
Yeah, I mean, I played it once on virtual tabletop simulator.
Yeah.
And I had a great time.
It's fun, yeah.
Really, really fun
good
games. And I think it probably is a good entryway to RPGs. I never even thought of that.
No, that's exactly why he picked it up for me. So yeah, so maybe we'll do an episode on it properly. But it's so far so good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, check it out.
I received an Amazon voucher from my mum.
Nice.
And obviously I bought a bunch of RPG shit with it. And the one thing I got was the DCC Annual. So this is basically the first ever expansion to DCC. And the first thing you notice when you open it, right? So for those that don't know, DCC is an OSR game with crazy random tables for Magic. And the first thing when you open the Annual, it starts at Chapter 5. And you're like, what the fuck?
What's happened here?
The additions they've made to Magic is Chapter 5 in the original book. So it goes. This is an addition to Chapter 5. This is an addition to Chapter 6. One of the things it does, what people were wanting from DCC was fleshed out gods for clerics, because you had proper patrons.
Yeah.
Now the gods for clerics, or indeed for anyone, are really fleshed out. And cool now.
Excellent.
So, I'm not going to get too in depth with this because I've got a Dragon or Blacken for the DCC Annual coming up.
Yeah, fair enough.
But there is magic mustaches in it now, and each one has its own mustachial effect.
Mustachial effect,
which is a great word,
Mr. Mustachio.
Yeah,
Love
so
it.
there's like all types of new shit in there, but we'll get into that later on a later item. Another thing I got was Lamentations of the Flame Princess, the Punchline.
Oh yeah.
Now this is pretty cool. The weird thing is it's not really an adventure so much as it is a mini setting.
Okay.
About an area called Forkton, and this might sound familiar, that's been infected with a plague called the Red Death.
Ah, yeah.
And, yeah, that I actually put this into our D&D game. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And one of the things that a lot of people have been seeing around is a bunch of clowns, and they've been kidnapping children, speaking to children on the road. There's one kid that tries to bargain with the clown, but for some reason halfway through the clown just fucks off into the bushes and like
As they do.
so that's like big parts of the mystery. I'm not going to spoil it 'cause
No.
I think we might actually get into it, but yeah,
Please,
it's basically if you want an adventure involving plagues and clowns the
And
punchline-
children,
yeah.
you're laughing.
It's really cool, and similar to like other Lamentations products, it's got the useful shit in the cover as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got
yeah.
every NPC in this game, and it's a mystery game, so obviously it's got a lot of characters.
Ah, okay,
but it's
yeah,
got like their temperament and their backstory condensed down to a sentence
Excellent.
in the front of the book. So if
Handy.
you need quick reference and stuff, it's
Handy
really
as
cool.
hell. That whole product line has always got handy.
It is great,
bits
yeah,
in it,
and-
so that's good.
I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. But if he's in there rolling around hacking him up and he's got a goblin guide, taking him into the cave, I'm not expecting him to not get dirty.
Oh yeah, I got some. I got Wise Guys cards.
Yeah, nice.
These are awesome. I
Yeah.
can't be bothered to get them. But basically, in Wise Guys, which is a gangster game for Savage Worlds, you have these contacts that you can have, and the contacts give you special abilities. So now they've released it as a 52 card deck with
Yeah.
every contact on
Nice.
it, and also another one with called Persons of Interest. So it's just main character cards. So you got
Yeah.
NPC cards and
So
shit.
cool.
Just fucking awesome, and that's so handy. Just because. If you're running a game, instead of writing down the stats in my notebook,
Have them
like I
sitting in
usually
front
do,
of
yeah, just take the 2 cards out
Yeah,
you need for
yeah.
the game.
And if you want to
Easy.
see my ugly mug in there, then buy it.
Yeah, you're one of the contacts, yeah. So, the thing is, we talked a lot of smack about Wasteland Warfare,
Yeah.
but I did buy Wasteland Warfare miniatures.
Okay.
But I do have a reason for this. I'll get the fucker down. Where is she?
Where is she? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the reason I bought them is not to play Wasteland Warfare, but my brother's running Fallout for Savage Worlds again soon, so
Yeah.
I thought I should get a cool mini for myself.
Can you buy individuals?
I got a box of 3, actually.
Okay. Oh, what, all Piper?
No, there's one is Piper from Fallout 4. I got a Boston Survivor, and then another guy who's that race of robots. What are they called? Sentinels or something?
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah,
Fallout
yeah.
4. Yeah, so I got 3 in the box. So yeah,
How
if
much
you
is
want
it for a
one.
free pack? No, I'm gonna go. I might get a free pack. I might treat myself to a pack as well
'Cause
I
there's
thought
one
if we've
that's
got some more
pretty cool,
minis for the table. It'd be cool.
Yeah, there's one that's the Wanderer and Mr. Handy and Dog, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
So
might
they're
get that
all
then.
nice, really nice, well-made minis. I
Yeah.
don't care for the game, but yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to buy a cool
absolutely.
mini for
Yeah,
Fallout.
yeah.
And, yeah, they are really, really, really high quality. The bases are pretty cool as well because
Yeah.
they come with like scenic bases, which is really nice.
Oh, that's pretty done with the I thought you had done that.
No.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
That's a base that comes with it.
That's pretty cool.
And the only thing is they require a slight bit of assembly, but they're pretty good because they have little holes for things to go in, so
Okay.
you don't need to pin them, which is fucking cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, great miniatures. Very, very happy with that.
Good,
well
yeah.
done.
Yeah, I might pick up a box actually.
You
for
should,
the,
man.
For the
They're,
game.
they're
look cool.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And that's it for Gets,
Yeah.
I suppose. So
Yeah, done
long,
well.
long old what you've been saying. Sorry about that.
As always, sorry. Yeah, but you know.
But you know, it's just after Christmas. We got a lot of
we've been doing
of junk.
fun stuff, haven't we?
Exactly. That's the problem,
That's the
listener.
problem.
We have too much fun. Anyway, let's go on to the main subject.
Yeah, let's do this.
Main. Subject. Magic. Main. Subject.
Tokyo.
Main. Subject.
When a product is released, recalled the exact same day, and most of the copies burned in a big fire, you know you're done goofed. But what was the module that met this fiery doom? It was, of course, B3, the Palace of the Silver Princess, an adventure from 1980 for TSR's Dungeons & Dragons basic set. Now, many people became aware of the story behind this owing to an article on Wired regarding the adventure where a journalist by the name of Jim McLaughlin interviewed some of the staff who were around at the time. And I'm going to definitely quote that article a lot throughout this review.
Okay.
The thing is, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back at the original recalled module. Not the edited one, but the original one. Because it did get re-released, but they re-edited it. Now, the thing about the article, it's called The Adventure That Nearly Killed D&D. And what I want to do with this is, I'm not ripping those guys off. What I want to do is see, was it really that bad as they say it was in the article, and did it really nearly kill D&D? So we're gonna do a little investigation. into
Okay,
this.
yeah. It's like an analysis. Yeah.
Yeah, so in 1980, TSR's only female member of staff, Jean Wells, was tasked with coming up with a new adventure for the D&D Basic Set series. That made it the very first female-designed module ever, and as a complete noob to designing, it also meant it had a few interesting quirks. To give one example, most of the monsters are completely new and didn't come from the monster manuals.
Okay.
And in most of the adventures, the point is it goes, turn to this entry on the monster manual to see this. And in this, she's just like, I'm making up my own.
I'm doing my own ones, mate.
And to believe me, it gets way more interesting. But this module was also supposed to teach DMs how to design their own stuff by leaving some rooms and areas blank and allowing the DM to fill them in. And then it'll give you a kind of a short tutorial on how to do that.
Okay, so that's good.
Actually, a really nice.
So it's not lazy; it's actually good because it backs it up with how to do it.
Yeah.
Rather than just go,
pretty much, yeah.
fill the blanks in.
So let's go through the actual adventure. So at the beginning of the adventure, it lays out the backstory of the whole thing. And essentially, there are rumours and legends about a really sexy, powerful, kind, agile, strong princess called Argenta, who lives in a palace made of every type of marble known to man. Which is a really weird.
Loves her marble.
She's a big fan of marble.
Yeah.
I personally think that was probably put in there so people don't just burn the fucker down.
Yeah, fair play.
This palace could supposedly be found in a valley full of peaceful monsters, clear skies, exotic plants, and what it actually says in the bloody module, rivers of sweet water.
As in sweet, or just like...
No, not as in. Not. I don't think it's as in good water. That's some sweet water, man.
Some sweet water.
No, I think it's like sugary water, which like it's supposed to make it sound idyllic and paradise.
Nah, I bet sticky as fuck. You go for a swim. Like...
Sugar water, that's syrup, right? So it's like
why are we drowning?
You go for a swim, you come out fucking your clothes are sticking to you.
Sugar coated.
Oh, it sounds horrible.
Does sound horrible.
In this valley, the mineral mica can be found too, and all the rocks and streams making the area glow and glisten like a diamond.
Ooh.
This valley also has a large population of dwarves who all love Princess Argenta because she's perfect in every way. These dwarves work rubies and jewels so that the elves in the valley can make weapons out of them. Mm-hmm. One day, there was a ruby the size of a mattress found, and the elves and dwarves made it look so nice that Argenta called it My Lady's Heart, and threw a big party where she literally invited anyone who heard about it, which makes it one of those like Facebook parties, you know, where people put an open invite and everyone turns up and trashes the place.
And he gets on the news because 8,000 people.
Well, do you remember there was that Australian guy and they were like, are you sorry for what you've done? Because he did that. And he's like, no, it's fucking awesome, mate.
Nice.
Anyway, of course, what happens is a stupid amount of people turn up and some bloke turns up and wants to nick My Lady's Heart.
No.
The big ruby.
Yeah.
This bloke was caught looking at both the princess and the gem in the same way, like all hungry, mouth-watering and rubbing his hands. He's like, yes, black ruby. So a couple of elves and dwarves approached the pervert after the party and asked him what he thought he was doing. They were never seen again. Anyway, fast forward to a couple of weeks later, and a red dragon can be seen flying about above the valley. This dragon subsequently burned the entire valley to a crisp.
Oh.
The few people who survived all swear they saw a saddle on the dragon's back and a bloke wearing silver and blue armour on the saddle, flying about on it.
Okay.
Remember that, because that comes important later.
Okay, alright.
So the valley is barren, the place is in ruins, and the princess is presumably dead, but nobody knows what really happened to her. The next part details the surrounding areas, and you get like a big old map.
Nice.
Which is really nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only an adventure, it's a setting. So it's set quite a few years after it all got burned and shit like
Okay,
this.
that's cool.
But notable areas include Galivia, which is described as a chaotic nightmare. It's ruled over by a woman called Lady de Chemis, who killed her husband to rule the place.
Okay.
She has all sorts of weird laws, like enforcing a curfew, but only for men.
Ooh.
And all the men in her army are also her lovers by law.
She's greedy.
It's like, it's weird, isn't it? Because this is like, it's quite obviously Gene Wells' like fantasy coming in.
Yeah.
It is
You're
great.
all my lovers.
You're all my lovers. She obviously loves a man in a uniform, right? So she's like, right, you all have to sleep with me. There's also a village called Dead Mule, and I fucking love this.
That's wicked.
So, because a long time ago, some dwarves were travelling through the valley when their only pack mule died, so they decided to just settle right there.
Brilliant.
And that's Dead Mule.
That is absolutely brilliant.
It's great.
Where it lays is where we built our
like, oh, well,
foundations. Dead Mule, we call it.
There's no news. There's no helping it. We just have to stay here.
We will build a town around it. That's wicked.
There's some evil mountains, other towns, dark woods,
Some evil mountains.
and a misty swamp called the Misty Swamp.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, God.
This swamp is a place where reality breaks down owing to magic mist, and as a result, magic works differently inside the swamp.
Pretty cool.
So, for example, a spell could backfire on one of your mates, a different spell could entirely come out, or you could get changed into a random creature with the same hit die as you.
That's really
So
cool.
You go in there, you're a level 1 character, you try and cast magic missile, you turn into a dog.
That's fucking awesome.
It is cool. I do like that.
Yeah.
In any case, this area is actually pretty fucking awesome. Simple but decent. I mean, the whole game area.
Yeah.
And it gives you shit to do when your characters have come back from a day in the ruined palace. So, but why would they go into the palace, I hear you ask? Well, this being an early 80s D&D module, there's a table of rumours. Spend long enough in the area and you'll stumble across a few. So and that'll give you a reason to go out questing.
Gotcha.
One of these rumours is, of course, that there's a big fuck-off mattress-sized ruby in the palace.
Yeah.
There are many other, but to give an example of one of the other cool ones, there's one that's a mysterious woman who's been running around with a few dwarves who wields a sword made of ruby.
Okay.
She's been seen in a few of the villages, and people reckon she's a descendant of the Silver Princess,
Right.
Argenta. Mm-hmm. There's also a rumour that people have seen a beast with 3 heads in the woods. There's also rumours that a treasure even more valuable than my lady's heart is inside the old ruined palace.
That's a wardrobe-sized ruby.
Yeah. The last one was a mattress. This one's a whole bed.
Yeah.
So obviously the party goes to the palace to try and find the riches, and this is where the adventure part of it really starts. So it's a big dungeony labyrinth that you bowl about in and try to find a ruby. Now, if I went room by room, we'd be here all day. There are fuckloads.
Oh,
It's
all right.
gigantic.
Nice.
So we're not going to do that, but I'll just go over some of the highlights of the palace. The dungeon is split into 2 levels, the entrance level and the upper level. So in the ruined and goofed entry level, you find a room where purple moss clings to each collapsing wall. This moss emits sleeping gas. Hit a spell save or go to sleep.
Oh, wow.
It's not that bad at all, but bear in mind, in D&D Basic, at low level, spell saves can be an absolute bugger to hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, remember, Lamentations is based on the D&D Basic experts.
Yeah.
And you remember how you had to, like, hit, like, a fucking 18 to avoid certain shit, like...
yeah.
So what could happen, right? Because you've got Wandering Monsters tables as well. What can happen is you go to sleep, and then monsters will come in and attack you. Then you'll get up, go to sleep again. The monsters will come and attack you. So it's called a frog loop.
Oh,
Where the whole party gets put to sleep, attacked by wandering frog monsters, wake up, go back to sleep, and blah blah. As I said, so it's like you could just be killed in that first room.
It's like a
on
bug,
this
innit?
horrific cycle that could take all night to fucking resolve.
You would be so mad. And you go back down again. Sorry.
Back down again. Monsters come
Oh,
and
look,
attack
there's another
you.
one.
Oh, you're back up.
No,
down
sorry,
again.
Dean. Sorry. That's terrible.
Awful.
Yeah.
So this is one of the first rooms, as I said, but of course after that you head into the indoor river of Sweetwater, and understandably, you need a drink. You've been tired, you're adventuring,
You want some sweet water, don't you?
So you clamber over and disturb the water, whereupon you're attacked by bubbles. Bubbles. That's what the monster is just called Bubble. That's yeah.
Oh my god, what's all that about?
They're quite easy to hit, obviously. They're just bubbles. But, there's 10 of them, and they have the ability to paralyze people for some reason. And their strategy, it says this in the module, is basically to paralyze people, drag them into the water, drowning them, and the body will sink if it's in armor. So forget about getting your dead friend's stuff. If you get dragged underneath it, if you're in armor, you sink, and the bubbles are attacking you, drowning you underwater. Yeah, pretty bad. If you defeat the bubbles, they do for some reason have 33 gold pieces that they keep at the deepest part of the pool. But who the fuck would get into the pool after that? You've seen your mate get dragged into oblivion. Why does a bubble need money?
What the fuck's he... And how's he getting it? Has he got a little part-time job?
It must be from a lot other dead adventurers.
No, when he's not drowning people, he's got a little paper round.
It's bubble mail.
Yeah.
So there's a kitchen where poisonous spitting snakes jump out of a bag. There's a cat that turns into an enchanted great cat and attacks the party. And of course there's the Ubu.
What? Ubu.
So this is where we come to a part of the controversy surrounding the module.
Okay.
The party, after gaining access to the upper level, eventually come to a bathroom, whereupon they encounter one of Gene Wells' new monsters, the Ubu. This monster has 3 human heads and 3 sexual organs. There's always 2 of one and 1 of the other. So if the outside 2 ones are women, the middle one's a bloke.
All right.
Meaning 2 minges and 1 dong. And two lady heads, 1 man. But it's a kind of a weird thing to point out the sexual organs. We don't care.
It's got 3.
It's just it doesn't use them to fight. So what's that? Why
Oh,
point it
what?
out?
I thought you was going to say something.
No.
Okay.
That's not that terrible. But given their resemblance to humans, when the book talks about them killing their own babies and eating them, this sparked some controversy. But the main thing about the Ubu is that the editor was the one who added in the hermaphrodite thing. Originally, they were just a 3-headed person, like I mentioned it should be.
Yeah.
And additionally, the artist, Errol Otis, drew the beast with the heads of TSR staff. So, in today's day and age, I think it would be frowned upon in an adventure to contain players slaying a 3-headed hermaphrodite with the faces of real people, but imagine the fuss it would have caused in 1980, right? But it doesn't end there, right? As you continue through the upper levels, there's a room containing a woman hanging from the ceiling by her own ankle-length hair. Beneath her, 9 blokes poke her with swords and tear her clothes off. For some baffling reason, this was also one of the scenes they chose to illustrate.
Oh my god.
Bizarre, right? Technically, that scene is an illusion made by a new monster called a Decapus. But still, TSR at this point were trying to convince people that these games weren't satanic. And this is what they decided to illustrate. To be fair to Gene Wells, the writer of the module, she did try to have those art pieces taken out and was told it was too late. So if we refer back to the Wired article, developer and designer for TSR at the time, Kevin Hendricks, said this. In essence, the philosophy of management at the time was that it was better to have anything to sell today than something of higher quality later. Because the market was so hot and the demand so great, TSR was losing money by any delays. So crank out that product and damn the torpedoes. That sort of outlook in TSR's flush days was the poison that caused problems like the B3 module and got up the nose of the product development people. So that's basically it. Gene Wells, she wanted the artwork removed.
She wanted a bit more time to finesse it, and they just wanted to get it out there and sell it. Yeah.
Anyway, you continue through the dungeon fighting monkeys, moss, poltergeists, and Jupiter bloodsuckers, and eventually you come to a room where you find the princess's diaries, and it tells you where the ruby is. So you fight through more ubus, some archer bushes, bushes that shoot bows, and another new monster called a Digus. Basically, the Digus is a balloon monster that can disguise itself as a marble pool.
Oh, of course.
Why? What sense does that make?
I've got a good trick. What's that?
So the thing is, to travel around, it inflates itself.
It floats.
And then as soon as it deflates, it goes, and now it looks like a pool for some reason.
Well, it's kind of like a weird, what are they called?
Bloody
chests.
Yeah, mimic.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, yeah. And eventually you come to a room containing the ruby in a glass case. And then who should appear but the ghost of Argenta, and oddly, the ghost of the bloke in the blue armour who burned the valley down with the dragon.
Oh.
Why? I don't know. Is this mentioned anywhere else in the adventure? Not really.
No.
There is a statue that implies they now get on for some reason, but there's no explanation. They're just, for some reason, she's mates with him now. The bloke who killed her instantly and destroyed her castle.
Whole amazing castle and kingdom is now, we're buds.
So, that is pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot more to it because there's different rooms and shit like this, but that's basically the adventure. The two main controversies, I guess, are those two monsters in the artwork.
The Wang.
So it wasn't that bad. But
I think it's a good adventure.
It's
by
not
the sounds
terrible.
of it.
It's not bad at all. It's perfectly reasonable.
And for a first time...
Yeah, and
okay,
some of the monsters, the extra monsters, like the balloon guy, they're kind of weird. And
but she's made them all from scratch, bless her, as well. So
and you know what? Fuck it, that would be hilarious if you had if people saw a marble pool turn into a balloon and try and fly away.
Oh mate, or can you imagine a scene where they're like,
they're trying to have a
I
bath.
swear there's something following us, and every time they look around, it's just a fountain behind them, and they're like, what is that?
But every time they turn around, they had.
It goes down. Oh mate, do you know what?
It's not terrible.
A for effort for the venture.
I think it's perfectly reasonable.
It sounds really good.
The backstory's great, but there are some funny things about it that we'll get into later.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of funny when you look into the background of it. But let's talk about the controversy surrounding this.
Okay.
So according to staff at the time, management were in a building uptown, and the developers and writers were in a building downtown. And according to game designer Lawrence Stick, which is a great name, he says upper management regarded employees as second or third class citizens. Additionally, Kevin Hendricks also mentions that there was an us versus them attitude. So when this module was ready for publication and a pallet of them was shipped to the management building, well, the management guys were pissed because it's obvious in the artwork for the Ubu that somebody was having the piss taken out of them. It's all drawn in a caricature style, but management couldn't tell if it was taking the piss out of them. Lawrence Stick has this to say on the matter. He says, they were caricatures of people in development, not management. There are a lot of in-jokes in there, and if you aren't in on the in-jokes, it can be easily misinterpreted, so it's perilous to do that sort of thing. If you didn't know who the caricatures were of, you might guess, and you might guess wrong. And that's why the management thought it was them.
Of course they did.
Because obviously you look at the heads, they're just like normal people. So they thought, is that me?
That's me, innit? Them little fuckers down there drawing me.
Yeah. And Kevin Hendricks mentions that the illustration alluded to recent terminations and employee unrest. So it was like staff they didn't like and things like that. So it was more of like an in-house controversy, which was interesting. And he goes on to say upper management was very sensitive about mutiny in the ranks at the time and took all these perceived slurs or snoot cockings as an insult and a challenge.
Oh dear.
I don't know what snoot cocking is.
Snoot cocking. That's
But
cool.
yeah, so they thought that the guys below were having a go. You know what I mean?
The underlings, the
Yeah.
subordinates are all taking the piss out of
That
them.
this was all like a subtle ploy.
It was like a coup.
Yeah. So he also Kevin Hendricks also calls the module navel gazing pseudo porn.
I learn new sentences every day. Navel gazing pseudo porn. I can't say I've never heard that before. That's
Anyway,
brilliant.
there's a really insightful quote from Bill Willingham, who was an artist for TSR at the time, who says this: "I was first to read the damn thing, and I was just shocked at how ridiculous it was. It was clearly the private fantasies of the author Gene Wells, who sadly died in 2012. The princess character was also her persona in the Society of Creative Anchorism, a hauntingly lovely woman who destroyed hearts. I called it to the art director's attention, and we went upstairs to the editorial and Lawrence Stick. And at some point, Lawrence, being the head of creative, called over to the business side and said, 'Are you sure we want to do this?' And someone from the business side essentially said, 'Hey, my wife plays mahjong with her, and she'll give me shit if we don't let her do her module. Just publish it. Don't give us any more crap about this.'" So, the Society of Creative Anchorage, right? As it turns out, the Silver Princess was actually Gene Wells' character from a historical reenactment society.
No way.
And additionally, she was friend of both management and the design team. So this is why he was saying, you know, it was basically this guy's, one of his wife's mates.
Yeah.
And so he gave her free rein to do whatever the
Do you
fuck
want to write
she
something?
wanted.
Go on in.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
So from that point, the staff remember it coming out over the weekend and it being recalled by the Monday. The darkly comic bent to all the artwork and all the bondage imagery ultimately got it recalled. And according to Kevin Hendricks, one day they were handing out our office copies, and one day we were told that supervisors were collecting copies, telling people to turn theirs in. Most of us, having got a whiff of what was going on, were busy squirreling out.
You know it. It'll be worth loads of money.
As he says, the land rush was on. D&D was a boil in the zeitgeist, and everyone knew the banned module would be a collector's item.
Yeah.
Editorial staff members hid their single copies, and rumours persist to this day that management liberated cases at a time. The print run was ordered destroyed, and basically after this, the module was rewritten with almost none of Gene Wells' original writing intact,
what?
except for the setting.
Okay.
And instead of an orange cover, it featured a green one.
Oh, right.
And as early as 1984, a copy of the orange cover sold at a Gen Con for $300. Today, however, almost none are in circulation. But an interview with Stephen Sullivan, another TSR game designer, Stephen mentions a signed orange copy selling for nearly $6,000.
That doesn't shock me at all. That'd be what an amazing piece of history you could hold on to with that.
Exactly.
Oh, mate, Gene Wells.
Gene Wells, man. But here's the thing. That article for Wired, I think it was a bit clickbaity. I don't think this module nearly killed D&D.
Not even close.
If it had come out, it would have probably spurred it on, sparking controversy. Weirdos would have bought it.
Yeah,
you know?
and it was. And to be fair, I think as much as the Satanic Panic was bad for it, in some circles it was very good for it.
Because
any publicity is good publicity.
Not
right?
only nerds were playing it during the Satanic Panic, but also goths as
Goths
well.
were, yeah,
they
of course
loved
they
it.
were,
And
yeah.
all the metal kids.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's
so-
not bad. I
and
mean,
the
if
thing
that
is-
happened in this day and age,
That would be like a very tame Lamentations module.
that's what I was just thinking. Look what Lamentations do.
Yeah, and so I personally, I think that
It's just the image in my head's quite gross. Just this big monster coming at you with two wangs and a vagina.
Yeah, and the
That
scene
doesn't
where
attack.
she's tied up on the sort of
She's getting
ceiling with her head.
poked,
But
yeah.
that's it. I mean, two bad scenes in a whole otherwise normal adventure. I mean, it's not really that bad.
No.
But the trouble is that the thing that really got me is that they decided to illustrate that part. That was stupid.
That made it worse. If it was just a bit of text, you can get away with
They
it.
probably would have
Let's
released
draw
it
it.
as is.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was.
But I think it's a pretty decent adventure, the original one.
Yeah.
You can find the orange one online in all sorts of places nowadays. So not physical, obviously, but I did pay for it probably. So
Probably, yeah, of course we did.
But the point is if you want to play it, fucking play it. It's
Check
a good
it
little
out.
mini
It sounds
setting
fun.
and an okay adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the previous princess was a Mary Sue character for Gene Wells. Of course, the backstory's about her, but she doesn't show up until the end where she's a ghost. And
And she's mates with that bloke.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that she's mates with that bloke. I say just take his ghost out in the final encounter and you're fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah.
It's just a really weird little turn. I was like, why does it not mention that? But
I
yeah.
just love the way, because that came about when they were like, it's probably some drunk dinner party, and it's like, Jig, you can ride.
Yeah, it was during the Mahjong game.
Yeah,
She's talking to-
exactly.
She's like, oh, I reckon I could do a better job than all those blokes.
Do it then.
Do it then, you bitch.
She done it.
That's not me saying that. That's the old
That's
TSR.
TSR, old TSR.
That's the words of TSR. I think that might be libel.
But the old words.
Yeah, I'd play the shit out of this, and
I would,
it's,
yeah.
it's
Sounds
super
fun.
interesting. Go and read that Wired article just to read the quotes, but
Yeah.
it is clickbait, and I am going to nick the title so that we can use the clickbait.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wired. But that's about it, man.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was actually shorter than the What We've Been Playing segment, but there we go, main subject for you, lads.
It's a nice little, you know.
Nice little nug of history.
Yeah,
for
there you go. Exactly.
But next up, we're going to go into a new segment, the Gadgetarium.
Oh.
The Gadgetarium. Yeah.
So this is the Gadgetarium. Basically, what we're going to do here is we want to highlight some of our. It can either be a gadget or a magic item or an interesting item, and we bring it to the table, highlight it, talk about what it does, and sort of so you can use it in your game.
Take it
I mean,
away,
obviously
yeah.
you can find it from the books where you found it from, but
Yeah.
you could. Yeah, it's a good, nice little takeaway for you guys. Nice little look at a magic item.
Yeah.
So. The one I wanted to go for, because I remember seeing this in Pathfinder ages ago and really, really, really wanting to use it, but never finding a good opportunity. But we're going to talk about the apparatus of the crab. So this is a large barrel, big enough to fit 2 people inside. Big old barrel, right?
Yeah.
With a difficulty 20 perception check, you see a secret hatch. Crawl inside to find 10 unlabeled levers and 2 seats. The barrel activates to become a crab-like mech.
Oh, yes.
The levers can be used to control the crab and can be rolled randomly using a d10. For example, 1 extends and retracts the legs and tail, or 5 snaps the pincers.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah.
The fucker has 200 HP, a speed of 20 feet, and does 2d8 damage on a plus 12 to hit. To build one of these yourself, it costs 45,000 GP. It's an expensive fucking item.
But if you've got that kind of cash, you've got to get one of those.
Yeah, and the cool thing is like, if you go in having no idea how to use it, you can keep rolling a d10, note them down, and you start to learn which levers do what, and then you can learn how to pilot it yourself, which is fucking awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So an enemy could have it, and if they kill the enemy, they could
Take the crab.
Take the
Apparatus of the crab. It's a
apparatus
really,
of
really,
the crab.
I just couldn't find a sensible place to. I mean, my games aren't usually sensible. I couldn't find a good reason to put it in the game before. Like,
But didn't you? I wonder whether you thought about that, and then do you remember my Office Uprising game that you helped me with, and you was like, "Why don't you turn his desk into a mech?"
I think that's probably.
Does that
This is
stem
probably
from
where
that?
almost certainly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's a great one. I believe it can be found in the back of the Pathfinder First Edition core book.
Okay.
Or it is. It's been remade into a 5e item, I think.
Okay,
I'm not
cool.
entirely sure, and I'm not sure which book to find it in, but it's also on the D20 system reference document. So you can
Wicked.
just
Yeah.
there,
Look it up that way.
What
Awesome.
the fuck have I just seen on your one? Old timey slap bracelet. What the fuck is this?
Right, so this is a cracking little item. So basically, it's a bracelet that looks like a snake, and it's a real item. This is a real life item. This isn't a fake item. This is
way.
a real world item from the 17th century, I believe. And it's
course.
like a snake, like a silver snake that's kind of wrapping around your arm as a bracelet. You wear it as a bracelet, but pull the head of the snake and you pull out a flexible rapier.
That is fucking awesome.
Let me show you the picture.
So, how does it bend around your arm then?
Because it's so thin.
It's malleable.
It's so
but you
it
can
goes,
still.
so as you push it in, it must wrap around, and it wraps around twice.
So I'm thinking like the swords in fucking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the way they wobble.
Precise. Exactly. It's one
That
like
is
that.
fucking awesome.
Check this out, and check the picture out. It looks incredible. We'll put it on the
Facebook.
website after. But yeah, so just scroll down, mate. Check that out. But I don't know what stats it would get. You're the genius for this.
I think it would.
Someone
just have
statted
to,
it, but I can't find the stat
It would
item of
probably
it.
have to be like standard damage for a rapier, but the fact that it's concealed is the cool part.
Yeah, so thieves, thieves would
my
love it. How
God.
cool's that?
I'm looking at it. It's more of a. It doesn't look like it has a sharp edge, but it looks more knifey than it does rapiery. But it's got the bracelet is quite gorgeous.
Yeah, it's awesome,
It's
isn't
really
it?
well made. It looks like a big metal snake. But the blade has got a very tiny handle, and it's the head.
Yeah.
It's quite well made, man.
Old timey slap bracelet. That's what someone put at the bottom of the meme.
Oh right, yeah, because those slap bracelets that you whack onto your arm, they curl round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool as hell.
It's in quite a dangerous location. Imagine trying to re-sheath it while the fucking snake is on your wrist, and you just go, "Whoops!" Well, that's
Straight through your wrist.
That's me. I breathed my last. Goodbye, everyone. That's a great item though, because everyone has bloody cane swords, right?
Exactly,
but
exactly.
now you have a snake.
And it's a small one, so I mean, I guess it's about that long total. So it's a nice little
for
blade.
people listening at home, when Nick
That's
goes
a great
that long,
medium. Yeah, about the length of my
dong. In that case, yeah, it's 1 inch long.
1 inch long, 1 millimeter.
Oh dear.
So yeah, check it out. So old timey slap bracelet. Just Google that and it should come up. The
That
meme
is
should come
amazing.
up.
That's
Yeah.
a really good one. Great entry. But next up, we're going to get into some Dragon or Blacken.
Oh yes.
About the DCC Annual.
Roll up, come and play Dragon or Blacken, a game where you could win big. Under this box, do I have a dragon, a mysterious creature of mythical origin, or is there in fact nothing? Am I blagging? Well, find out now, only £10 ago.
You, sir, come and play the game.
Who? Me?
Yes, you. Come on, come and play. Dragon or Blaggin. Ha ha!
So this is Dragon or Blacken, where I am going to ask Nick some questions about a thing, and you have to tell if it's real, dragon, or blagging. And you'll see when it happens, right?
You'll get it.
But this is going to be about the DCC Annual. So this is the first expansion to DCC, as I mentioned. And let's get into it.
Yeah.
So the DCC Annual details many new magic swords, but which one of these is the real sword?
Okay.
Slicey McSlashy, the Dread Sword of Alcazar, the Bone Sword of the Sea, or the Blade of Grong?
The Blade of Grong.
Sadly, no.
Oh,
It was
that
the
sounded unlike you.
Bone Sword of the Sea.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Because we make so many bone references.
It's pretty cool. It's like it's got I think it's like a shark jaw or something like that. But the sword's got teeth going all the way up.
Oh,
the
okay,
side
that's
of
pretty
it.
cool. Damn it, fuck.
Next
Okay.
one. In the DCC Annual, you will find different orders / religions based on certain gods for clerics to follow. Which of these is the real god? Gravitas, William, Integritus, or Justicia?
That's gravitas. Oh no, hold on. Am I getting that mixed up with the word gravitas? Because I know gravitas. I know when you say something with gravitas, it means. I'm going for that. It's my first answer.
So gravitas is it is a word, yes, but it's also the wall monster from Nightmare.
Oh.
Not from the the real one. The real one is Justicia.
Justicia. That's right. Oh yeah, that does sound DCC.
The next one, right?
Yeah.
Many fantastic new creatures can be found in the DCC Annual, including the Mage Melt. But what is a Mage Melt? Is it a ball of energy caused by a failed spell that turns wizards into skeletons by melting the flesh off their bones? Or is it a mutated humanoid who became an abomination by drinking the byproduct of a failed alchemical experiment?
Ooh, I want it to be the first one. I think it's the first one.
It is not.
Oh!
Yeah, so apparently, like, when a failed alchemical experiment happens and that runs into the sewer, then a sewer dweller drinks it, he becomes a Mage Melt. Which is a great name.
It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for fantasy, like.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, yeah. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, those are Mage Melts.
Got ya, okay.
God, that was a difficult sentence. The DCC RPG Annual contains a whole chapter about mustaches, allowing players to get magic mustaches.
Okay.
Now, each and every mustache manifests its power differently and has different effect. So which of these effects is not the real one?
Okay.
For 1d4 rounds, you become a motorbike and gain all the stat boosts that entails. The second one is when you activate your mustache powers, you are suddenly covered in sick tattoos. The third one is for 1d6 rounds after activating your stash power, you emanate a wicked soundtrack that can be heard 100 feet away. Or is it a demon in a tuxedo appears and hands you a cocktail?
Oh shit! There's me thinking that the last one would be, the one because the other three were ridiculous. And oh dear, I love the motorbike. Devil in a cocktail dress.
So it's a demon in a tuxedo gives you a cocktail. Oh, wicked soundtrack, sick tattoos, or motorbike.
Wicked soundtrack.
That is the real one.
Hey!
No, bear in mind you're looking for the not real.
Oh shit! Yeah, motorbike then.
You're correct. Yeah. So that's the one I made.
They're all awesome. Even the motorbike one's pretty cool.
If you want to add the motorbike one in,
please
you can do that. Finally, in the back of the book, there are many advertisements for DCC third-party products and DCC adjacent stuff. Which of these is the real product advertised in the back?
Okay.
Inner Ham, Space Pirates of the Octarine Planet, His Dank Materials, or Country Crawl Classics.
Country Crawl Classics? Oh no, hold on. Yeah, it's there.
That is a real one, but it's not advertised in the back.
Okay. Oh, I've got it
So,
right.
unfortunately, the real one was In a Ham.
What?
I know, man.
I thought it was the Ghost Pirate one.
No,
Space Pirate. In a
Space-
Ham.
I made that one up. Yeah, In a Ham. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's in the back there.
Is it in a ham or INNA?
Inner, like
okay.
Yeah, INNER. Let me just have a look, because I'm going to go to the advertisement. Oh, I just bloody found it as well.
Do it.
In a Ham.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there. All it says is Monsters, Patrons, Adventures, Potrazibi.
I don't know what that means.
Yep.
Is that the annual? That's massive.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, have a look.
Yeah.
So, there's some really, really cool shit in there. There's new ways to roll up magic items.
It's not far off the bloody core rulebook.
No,
well,
that's
no,
what
it's
makes
probably
it so good.
but it's still massive.
There's new magic items, new monsters, and it's got a bit of a Fiend Folio feel to it because the new monsters are pretty fucking weird. There's like new ways to roll up giants. There's the mustache thing.
There's a bearded moon.
The bearded moon. It's got it all. It's got it all. I need to get a proper dive into that and have a look. But one of the cool things is my favourite adventure, probably of all time, Intrigue at the Court of Chaos.
Yeah.
All of those evil demons that you see in Intrigue are now proper statted patrons.
Hey.
So you've got like
when they're all sitting around the big opening scene when you get
Yeah, so
no,
when
let's not spoil it, but yeah.
you go to the plane of chaos, and all of these demons, like that are in the Court of Chaos, they're all
eyeball.
sat around.
Yeah.
And there's an eyeball, there's Null, there's they're all statted now, and they've got proper patron write ups. So you can take those as a wizard, or as indeed any other character. You can take a patron, get new spells and shit. So
the sword art is incredible.
Yeah,
every single one is really different.
In
looking.
DCC, most magic items are rolled up, but now it's given you like a good few magic swords in there, and each one has its own page, its own effects. Each one has a unique art, and it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Great thing is, if you've got the PDF version, which you get for free if you buy that book,
Of course.
you could just print out that page for a sword and
That's
give it
so
out.
cool. And the swords are incredible. Look at these swords.
They're great. They're really great.
Mate.
It's I would say, as far as the book that I've seen so far and the content that it has, it's not a must own, but it is. It's a very nice. Because
the Dragon Tooth Flame Blade.
Yeah.
There it is, the bone sword of the sea. Look at that.
Yeah, so it's made out of. I think it's like a monster jaw that fucker's made out
From
of.
jawbone or
it's
something.
a pretty good.
Yeah,
good
that is
book.
so cool. I love it. This is wicked. How much is the annual?
I can't remember. I think it was £20, which is quite worth it for what it is.
Well, yeah, because it says $50 on the back. So
well, it is
Can't
an
be that
expansion, but yeah. So maybe I did pay as much as DCC for this, but yeah.
but it's a hardback. It's got bloody page markers in there. It's lovely.
If you note about the original DCC RPG book, there's not that many rules for judges and for adventuring.
No, it's all magic.
A lot of it is rulings,
and spells. Yeah.
It does flesh that out a little bit, which is great, and it's got everything you want. The only thing I disliked about it was that it does jump straight in. So the first thing you see in here is an introduction. But then it just goes, Chapter 5, Magic.
Yeah.
And then it goes Kadixtat, who's a new clerical god. But it
Uh-huh.
doesn't really give you an explanation on how to use clerical gods. If you look at, like, the patrons, right, in DCC, a wizard can take a patron, but it in the block for a wizard, and where it tells you how a wizard operates, it tells you some wizards can get a patron, and blah, blah, blah. It tells you how to use them. And in this, it just goes straight into the write-up of the god itself.
So this isn't a noob's book. This is literally an extension to someone who's already read the rule book and understands the game.
And it does say in the introduction it's absolutely not necessary to have for playing DCC, but the thing is, we're starting a new AP this year called Wizard Cops, and it's based on 70s exploitation cop movies.
Yeah.
And so I think definitely magic mustaches are going to be in there.
It's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely has to be. But no, I mean, so basically, yeah. I mean, if you're into your DCC stuff, I would definitely recommend
One of
that.
the cool things about the mustaches as well is that it details all the different types of mustache. So it's like the handlebar, the bike. Things like this. But then if you're playing a female character, don't feel left out because the girl stash is
Yay!
So I think, when I actually used to know somebody, it was a girl that had an actual beard and she had to shave, which is a bit sad. But that's the real thing that happens. So if you want to play that guy,
especially if you get old.
Yeah, exactly. Old woman mustache, which is my nan's nickname.
Old woman mustache.
It's me, old woman mustache.
Hey.
Right. Anyway, if it's not patently obvious, listeners, we are stalling for time because we forgot to ask for questions.
I think people have lives, so they've not answered anything yet. Shall we just?
Let's have a little break.
Let's
Shall
have
we?
a quick break. Give me 5 minutes.
In the future, you will be able to send a letter or parcel from anywhere on the planet. This, sir, is the Electro Letter.
Listeners, we done goofed.
We were new year, new us.
This is
Fucked it right up.
So yeah, we unfortunately put out the feelers for questions for Electro Letters far too late, and we did ask for your New Year's gaming resolutions, but we got a couple of general questions from our mate Owen, who's thankfully saved us. So
cheers, Owen.
That's what we're gonna do. He says, general question from me: if you had to spend a year as one of your characters, which ones would you choose? This is a toughie for me. This is because we've had a lot of good characters over the years. If I had to pick one, I think I would go for my character from Fallout, Shipman Shane.
I love
Shipman Shane. The reason he was called the Shipman was because he essentially was like he built stuff out of shit.
Yeah.
He was a scrap guy who built stuff out of shit, and he was called Shipman Shane. And he was also a musician that sang for food in the Fallout universe, and I think if I had to spend a year doing that, like just going to the Fallout world, obviously it would be hideous, but you got a year, so you know it's going to be at end at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
I could live that life for a year.
I could live that life. That would be fun, mate. And what was your guitar? It wasn't a guitar, was it? What did you play? The instrument?
It was called a diddly bow.
That was it, diddly bow.
And that's actually, I actually nicked that idea from, there's a really great musician called C6 Steve.
Oh, I love C6 Steve. Yeah.
I saw him live and he played the diddly bow.
He was the homeless dude, wasn't he? Yeah, I know.
One-string guitar made from an old oil can.
Oh, mate.
That's what my guy was based on, C6 Steve.
Awesome.
And what I liked about him was every time we got into town and we'd try and do a gig, and Sean would always do it as a dramatic task. So you had to kind of succeed five times in 5 rounds, right? And there was the amount of times we'd do a gig and it went so badly that I got bottled.
Oh, mate.
And I'd always put like a sort of country blues backing track on my phone and sing along to it. And the main one was always, I think I'm turning Japanese. I think
And who was it? One, whoever your manager was or whatever was like, do the Japanese song. No, don't do it. Yeah,
because the first gig I did the turning Japanese, and we got bottled and ran out of town. And then we got to the next one, and I could see the dramatic task was going badly. I could see in the audience face that they were hating it. People started booing, and then from the side of the stage, everyone was looking at me, and I went, "This next song is about turning Japanese." And then I look over and see all the other characters like, no, don't do it. And of course, we failed again. But he was a very, very fun character to play because he was a bit of an idiot, a bit of a bigot, but not knowingly. Deep down, he was a nice person, but he was so stupid and raised in such a shitty environment. I think it'd be fun to be that guy for a year.
Oh, mate, that'd be fun.
And have a year in the Fallout world.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Although we probably would die in that year, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, you'd be dead before the end of the year, definitely. But it's a tough one. But I think it's got to be Dave the fucking Rave.
But a lot of people have lived the Dave the Rave lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
For a year.
He's relatable.
Yeah, because Dave the Rave was a Call of Cthulhu character in a modern day Cthulhu game that we played, and he was a raver that was kind to animals.
Yeah.
But he did loads of drugs. And that's the thing, right? Okay, in normal life, we don't do drugs.
No.
But if you wanted to try out for a year...
As an RPG guy...
Yeah, well, no, you'd be in real life.
Well, yeah, as an RPG character, should I say.
Yeah.
I just liked his outlook on life. He loved, it was nice that he was a pacifist because obviously, all these normally when you're adventurers and stuff, you're not. But it was fun to play a pacifist. I just liked his outlook, I think, on life. It was quite cool.
Well, he's quite similar to you, actually.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
Aside from all the
drugs, yeah.
One of my favourite Dave the Rave moments is when he tried to. We were setting up a sting in a casino to rob it.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do was poison the water with hallucinogenic drugs, and to enhance it, we wanted to get a record. And it was called like Spinal Fluid Explosion Brain. And we had to sneak into a record store to steal it because we didn't have any money.
Yep.
And so that was our plan. We pumped the water system full of drugs, and then we would like then put on this crazy record that would freak everyone out.
That's it. And then all security got messed up, didn't they?
Everyone was inside stealing the record, Dave the Rave was outside, and he was a pacifist. He never hurt anyone, let alone animals. Yeah. But he got attacked by a dog outside and had to kick it into the river. He's like, "Oh mate, I can't believe I did that.
I can't believe it, mate."
But he was based on the whole '90s rave scene, and he was a great character.
Yeah, it was. So I think I'd be Dave for a year. We've got one come in.
So we've got some questions from James as well. James Clark, he comes in. He said, "What conventions are you looking forward to the most this year, and why?
Oh, that's easy.
I tell you what, Dragon Meat again, obviously.
Yeah, that's good.
The thing is, I really want to get out to UK Games Expo.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I might try to do it, but it's in Birmingham.
Yeah.
But I know Bruce Cunnington, who's the biggest promoter of
DCC.
DCC in this country, is running a bunch of games, and I've just seen he's made the entire dungeon terrain. He's part of a tabletop crafting guild as well, and it looks fucking awesome.
Does that boy's talent know no end?
Exactly. I mean, at the last at Dragon Meat, he ran 3 games back to back, all DCC. One of them was Dark Trails, which is the new Cowboy Cthulhu game.
Meets DCC, yeah.
And he's one of the top promoters, and he runs a fucking good game from what I hear. And I've been speaking to him on Facebook, and he's like, "You've got to come. You've got to come."
Oh, I'm all over it. Yeah, and Birmingham's not that far, mate. It's pretty. We look at it, because if we can get tickets early,
get a hotel for the night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'd love to go to that one as well. I think there's a few that have popped up on Facebook that I wasn't even aware of, and I keep seeing them, so I keep pressing interested on them now.
Although, to be fair,
I don't lose them.
James does follow up conventions, gaming or non. You ever going to go back to VapeCon, Nick?
VapeCon? No, I don't think I will go to Vape Jam. Vape Jam.
That's
Vape
even worse.
Jam, mate.
Vape Jam.
Oh,
so
my God.
answer me this, because I've asked you before, and I still didn't get a satisfactory answer. What happens at Vape Jam?
A lot of vaping.
Well, I imagine. You said you had a hangover from how much vaping you did.
Oh my God. Yeah, we had it was weird. We felt a bit weird towards the end, but yeah, you walk in and it's just like, you're walking into a fucking fog. And
put it this way, like, say, I went to Eurogamer Expo in London last year. And what you do at the con is you go around, you try out games. What do you do at VapeCon?
Try out vape juices, all the stalls selling shit. There's vape going on. There's a lot of scantily clad ladies walking around with juice.
I'm in. I don't even vape.
I have to dig the old video out, because there's a video and there was obviously like a stage area, if you like, and they throw free shit around. There's bloody rubber wristbands for days there. Yeah. And they had some pretty heavy music, and they would obviously had some DJs playing and that, and everyone was vaping to like this heavy music. I'll have to show you. Yeah, I have to show you. It's a cringe fest, but yeah, Vape Jam was cool. But no, not for me.
I've seen videos, because when I was trying to figure out what goes on at VapeCon, I watched a video of some people doing fattest cloud
fattest clouds, yeah,
and it was like a vape off. And the thing is, they were like, okay, in the blue corner is Smoked Mad Blunts 420, and then he's like, and then this she goes, right, go, and then this dubstep starts up. It's like and then they just blow a fat cloud.
Yeah, that's awful. That's all it is.
Oh God!
But I haven't been for a few years, sadly. But you used to get a lot of free juice, but they cut that right down, so it won't.
Because of the tax now, man, it's expensive.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Vape Jam's fine.
Vape Jam. I'd like to go to Eurogamer Expo this year, because I went there and we got to try out a bunch of really cool games. The queues for the fucking like main video games, like for example, I went to see the Final Fantasy VII remake, right? And the queue went on for days. And I looked at, they have this app so you can sort of book a point to go and see the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I tried to do that, and it said current queue time 8 hours. And I'm like, there is nothing in this world that I love enough to queue for 8 hours.
No way.
Additionally, I saw a preview of Death Stranding. That's out now, so that's not a big deal. But I did go and see a 50-minute preview of Cyberpunk 2020, the new video game.
Yeah.
And it does look absolutely amazing.
When's that out? Is that out this year?
March.
Oh.
There was a certain level of goodness to the Cyberpunk 2020 game that I don't think it can ever be as good as they're showing it can be.
No way.
It was crazy
what was this
good.
Again?
It was like so we watched a guy play the game for 50 minutes, but it was like there was no loading. The whole city looked incredible.
Yeah.
You can drive around in it, and you can go into any building. There's stacks of people everywhere, and I'm like, nah. I think this is probably going to get a re-enhanced edition on the PS5.
Yeah.
But it looks too good to be true, honestly. But maybe it isn't. They
because it's coming out in March. It won't be on PS5 yet, will it? So so they do. Because I got stung for that so bad, because I was on Xbox 360 for years, and then went over to PlayStation. I was like, I've got to rebuy all these bloody remakes now, like GTA and all that.
Yeah. We got another question from James Clark. He says, "Are you currently writing anything else at the moment? If so, when can we inspect it? If not, why?"
Oh, it's funny you should ask that.
We are writing. We're actually in the process of making our next toolkit idea. And it is going to be called 100 Weird Widgets, and it is a book of sci-fi gadgets.
Yeah.
And we've got some fucking good ones so far. We've got exploding trousers.
Returning
rocket hand.
Yeah,
the Dildonian Laser Club.
We've got the Sunshot.
Sunshot. We're coming up with ideas for it at the moment and fleshing it out and putting our cool gadgets in there. The thing is, what we wanted to kind of do with it was, we were talking about this a minute ago, and we kind of want to have items in there that don't seem useful at first, but the players will get a use for.
Precisely, yeah.
For example, there's one that's called the Road Butler, and it's just going to be like a little tray on wheels with little hands holding on it. And yeah, you can put something on it and get it served to another room.
There you go.
And put a landmine on that bitch.
Definite destruction.
Active grenade. So we want to have items a lot like that where people are going to find uses for them.
They're not going to be huge game-breaking items. They're going to be more kind of
weird gadgets.
And it's up to you guys to kind of utilise them however way you want.
For example, the exploding trousers, right? It's got a trigger in the pocket, so they explode, doing a massive, massive explosion. And it's got a trigger in the back pocket, so if you sit down, say goodbye. The thing is, let's say there's somebody you hate, you get them on side and then give them a nice pair of trousers for Christmas.
Exactly.
That's the end of them.
They see you later. Yeah. Anyway, we've got to shoot, but try them trousers on.
I'm also working on something at the moment. There's this brilliant setting or sort of system for Savage Worlds that turns Savage Worlds into an OSR type game.
Oh, right.
And you pull cards for the bits of the dungeon, details of the dungeon, which wandering monsters come out, things like this. And what you provide is a template. And I'm working on a template at the moment. I did a lot of work on it yesterday and came up with an idea for a pub crawl where the town's been infected by beer that turns people into zombies.
Nice.
And the streets are the corridors and the buildings are the rooms. He said it was a bit too weird and a bit too esoteric and not dungeony enough. So I've changed it, and it's a dungeon that takes place in a brewery where all the people died because of diseased beer and came back as zombies.
Awesome.
And one of the things you have to do in it is come up with rumours, like a little table of rumours.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I came up with is that apparently people that have watched the brewery from afar have seen a gorilla inside throwing barrels, and that's going to be my enemy called Monkey Kong.
Yes.
So he said I can make it as weird as I like, so that's what I'm going for.
Awesome, that's cool.
But that's what I'm working on. I'm also going to be doing Sean Richer, who makes Terror of the Stratosphere, which is a really, really great setting and magazine for DCC. He's come up with an idea where it's like a 100-level dungeon or something like this, and he's giving each level to a different person.
That's cool.
And so I'm writing a level of a dungeon.
That's so cool.
So, it's a great idea. I haven't started on that yet. Sorry, Sean.
That sounds well fun. And because it'll be like an anthology of people's minds.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be bloody weird, but I like that a lot. Next one comes in from Owen Lean. He says, what music is best for cyberpunk games? I'll getting bored of the Blade Runner soundtrack. We haven't really played a cyberpunk. Oh no, we did. We played Bubblegum Crisis.
Yeah, what do we have on in that? We had a lot of
Perturbator.
Perturbator, of course we did.
As much as I like Perturbator's music, it has one note, right, and it's pretty much just full on. That's it.
Yeah. What's that mushroom one?
Infected Mushroom.
Yeah.
So that's a good choice actually, because it's Psytrance.
We've had a bit of infected mushroom in the past.
So yeah, that's sort of it's not really relaxing, but it's good as background.
Yeah. So
just
turn it down.
Just turn it down. I find what you want to do is because Blade Runner, it's John Carpenter that did the music.
No idea, mate. To be honest,
but anything John Carpenter basically.
Yeah.
Just put on like a mix on YouTube of John Carpenter's shit. Because I find a lot of modern synthwave is good, but it's all just.
What about Muse's album, the synthy one that we were talking about?
That's a good one. Yeah, Muse have just dropped a new album called Simulation Theory.
Yeah,
and Muse haven't been good for a good few years now.
Yeah.
They've done a good one.
It's a synthy one, and it's good. Yeah, that might work for Cyberpunk.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is my bloody answer for that.
There you go. And we got another one from Jums.
James Clark.
Yeah, he says, what do you think is going to be your new thing this year in terms of gaming purchases? Like 2015 was Nick's year of dice. God, was that long ago?
I can't believe it. Well, you bought so many dice that year.
I know, now I'm like, I don't need any more, but I desperately want more.
I see new sets of dice all the time, and I just think to myself, do I need it?
That's the problem.
I can answer this quite surely, because I've got into mini painting and making terrain.
Of course you have, yeah.
And currently, like a lot of my disposable income always goes on RPG shit, but currently it's going on terrain, minis, things like this.
Paint, supplies.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff is going on that.
But to be fair though, you've got such. I mean, like, you've done a lot of relic hunting with your books, and you've got a lot of. You've got a very nice library now. You've done a lot of your minis that you had before. And now it's like the new thing is the scenery. It's nice to have a gap. So you've done a lot of different things, and this is the one thing that you haven't done that much on. So it's nice to kind of concentrate on that this year, and it's been amazing.
I think it's enhancing the game.
Oh, 100%. I know people say, take it or leave it, but I tell you what, terrain. And you'll realise how easy it is to put together, not to make, but how easy the materials are and cheap they are to get hold of.
My sort of tip is I got a set of, it was last Christmas actually, and I've only just started using them, but I got a set of whittling knives.
Yeah. Shredded your hands to start with.
I fucked my hands right up. I came to the game, I had plasters on every finger. But the cool thing about that is a lot of my terrain is made out of Jenga blocks, because I just had them lying around, and I stick some together, then cut them into
And they were the
shapes.
mini ones, so they're quite light, aren't they? So they're quite easy to cut.
I just found it for £3 in a shop called The Works, and you can stick 3 of them together and then carve it to make a doorway. You can make platforms, stairs. I made a portal out.
Check out our Facebook group, because we've been putting loads of Harrison's new terrain on there, and it's cracking. It's absolutely cracking. Like the IKEA table.
I'm making another one of those at the moment, actually. So it's a Lazy Susan. The way Dungeon Craft does his, and this is the thing, like a lot of my money this year is definitely going to go into that. But the one thing I really, really don't like buying is foam. Everyone makes shit out of foam. But it's so expensive in this country.
Is it really?
Yeah. So
and it's bad for the planet, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So what I did is he basically carves out a circular bit of foam, carves the tiles into it, then sticks it to the top of a Lazy Susan.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Whereas I use my knives and some fucking what are those things? Files.
He's just doing this weird little hand gesture.
Yeah, so I use files to carve it directly into the wood, and it means it takes up less space, fits in a bag, sort of, but it's quite big.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, the other day during the D&D game, I used that. I've like painted it up to look like dungeon tiles.
Yeah.
And you can spin it, so if you want to get a good look at the combat on your turn, you can spin it
Get
around.
a new angle. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really cool little thing, and you didn't realise you needed it until you got it, and now you're like happy about it.
When we were doing the mass battle, I had obviously 2 different scenes happening at the same time. So what we did is we used some of the dungeon walls to do a split down the middle of the board. And we had 2 scenes going on at once, so I ran the 2 combats at once.
That's cool.
On the same board, so it's pretty fucking good.
Wicked.
And if you're doing that Theatre of the Mind, it would probably actually be harder, because in that you see everything. And it's funny how much players... Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, do it.
But it's funny how much players get play differently once terrain is involved. Because the amount of times I've drawn flat maps, and what everyone does is they run into the middle of the map and then they fight where they stand.
I shoot with my thing. Do you know what? I really do think it enhances creativity in regards to battles as well. Because,
That's
you know,
the point,
normally, like, when you can't visualise it as... I mean, Theatre of the Mind's great, but when you can't see it that well, you kind of do feel a little bit limited sometimes. Like... Because, you get a bit bored with, I hit him with my broadsword. The classic. You want to do something where maybe you run up a wall,
whatever. It this way, the other day during the game, when they were going into the Goblin Warren that we spoke about earlier, there was a sort of parapet set up, like a watchtower inside, where this mage goblin was flinging spells from. And Norman Fiend, one of the characters, he's a warlock. He walks in, instantly triggers the trap, gets exploded, flies through the air, lands on the turret, right? And then while he's up there, the very next action is Grant Shaftesbury, who's our barbarian.
Yeah.
And he runs in, smashes the bottom of the tower to make it collapse.
Yep.
Completely forgetting Norman's up there. You can fucking see it on the terrain.
He's standing on top of it.
He's up there. He's prone on top of it, and then Grant just comes and smashes it over, damaging him again. So what we were saying is, what was funny about that was how short a time it took place. So it's literally explode, land, fall, crush, and he was on 1 HP. But bless James Tomasson, he's a good fucking role player, because what he didn't say it at all. I could see his face. He was like, "Does he know I'm up there?"
But no, bless him, and it was cracking.
Quiet.
And he survived, so it was all good.
So how about you? What's the sort of things you're going to be purchasing this year? Do you reckon?
Minis for me. Minis. I've got no. I've got hardly. I mean, I've got a few little odd ones, but I just really need to enhance my minis. I've got no mini. I want to get myself. I'm going to start like you did. Get yourself a good storage unit. That's what you need.
Get like a big box of them.
Exactly. So I'm going to get. So I'm going to start getting more minis. Want some more monsters? I've got no monster minis at all. And I want to get some of these. I'm looking at the old board games. To buy to get the minis, because you get so many more for value for money.
Yeah, I mean, because it is a big outlay, because it's £40, but you get about 40 to 50 minis in each box,
and you get a game. So you can put the minis back in if you want to play the game.
The game is pretty cool and pretty playable too.
Exactly.
There's another one that a lot of people talk about called Massive Darkness, and since this has become like a known thing, it's gone up a little bit in price, but it's got 120 minis inside.
Wow. Yeah.
So
you think on eBay you could for a professionally painted singular mini, you could pay up to 15-20 quid for one.
Yeah, I have. You know? The mushroom guys that were in the last game, they cost me 10 quid for 2.
Wow.
Right? It's you've got...
and it's more, what I want to do as well is, because Sean's very good at this as well, because he tends to go to little charity shops and find little things, and it's being a little bit more broader with where you can get minis from.
Yeah, because he's got a bumper crop of Doctor Who minis that came from, I think, either a magazine or a board game. But it's just a bunch of little Daleks and Cybermen and shit like this, and he searches out these weird ones.
Yeah.
For example, the Colossal Red Dragon, which is a really, it's not even a mini, it's a massive.
It's a massive.
Yeah. Have you got that Dragon Massive? So yeah, but you can buy that, right? It's like 80 quid for an unpainted mini. Sean just bought a dragon toy, right? It's painted, it looks nice, and it's a dragon. You've got it.
There you go,
big
good
old
fun.
fucker.
Yeah, so maybe we should get Sean on actually as well and do a mini
Like,
episode.
yeah,
That'd be cool.
Buying minis, yeah. Yeah, so that's basically it for questions.
One more though. One more. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's answer our own question, shall we? So, what's your resolution? New Year gaming resolution for the year?
Yeah. So New Year's gaming resolution. That is, I think what I'm going to try to do, and I have thought about this a lot. I've got a lot of games on my shelf, and my shelving unit is pretty much almost full.
Yep.
I'm going to try to buy less games. I know that sounds bad, and it's not particularly good for the podcast, but the only thing is I want to get through some of the ones I've got on my shelf.
100%. And
I've got fucking Wise Guys in there I need to run. I've got the Burning Wheel, which I really want to run.
I've got Cypher System I want to run.
Car Wars. Index Card RPG. I've got so many, and I need to actually take the time to play them, because the thing...
You've hit terminal velocity.
Yeah. What often happens, though, is I'll buy them, right? I'm really hyped, and I'm like, I need that in my life. I need that in my life. But the thing about it is that I know I'm not going to run it for months, so why not just buy it then?
Very
but I
true.
never do it. I always waste all my money buying games that I'm going to play years later.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fair enough.
That's my new resolution. I want to try to
buy less.
Buy less.
Buy less products. Concentrate on your other hobbies within the hobby.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Makes sense. Makes sense. My New Year's resolution is to pay more attention to Kickstarters that I back.
Oh god, yeah. Every time Nick backs a Kickstarter, he forgets about it, and then when it comes time to fill out the survey, it's like it's too late.
Too late.
You've done it.
Too late. I'm an arsehole. So, but I'm not probably gonna. And also, I'm very much like you. I've got to a point where I've had to put, that big chest in my living room.
Yeah.
That's full of RPG stuff now because my shelf is too full.
You need to get one of these, man.
I know.
In IKEA, you can get it's called a Billy bookcase.
Yeah.
And it's nice and shallow.
But look at the bow on your.
That is ridiculous.
How did bow in? The shelves are bowing.
Because my top shelf, I've organised it vaguely, and my top shelf has got my fantasy stuff up there. And it's literally it's like the big box sets, giant DCC books. It's literally bowing.
I can hear it heaving under the pressure.
One day that's gonna snap.
That's gonna go. But it's so buy less books and kind of focus on other parts of the hobby. I reckon for us.
That's gonna be it for Electro Letters. I mean, we had some pretty cool questions in from a couple of guys there, and thank you very much for helping us out.
Thank you for helping us.
This would be nothing without you, James and Owen.
Absolutely.
But next time we'll be more punctual and allow the listeners to actually join in. But that's our Electro Letters, that's our New Year's gaming resolutions. I believe it's time to do an outro.
Oh, it's that time again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now entered the Frog Lock. So what happens is they cast Frog Song, then they punch you for 4 damage, and then they do it right again. And this will go on for the next 4 hours now. Thank you, frogs. I love you.
So if you want to support the podcast, the best way to do that is to go over to Patreon and chuck us a couple of bucks. Bear in mind, if the donations get low, we will stop doing this. We will stop. We're holding this ransom.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to support us, buy 78 Hamlet Happenings,
please,
our OSR toolkit for random town events. Additionally, we're going to be coming out soon, obviously, with 100 Weird Widgets. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, you can email us at tabletop. No,
that's the old one.
3tRPGpod@gmail.com. Or you
check
can
us out on social media.
It's social medias, all of them.
All of them. We're there.
Tumblr.
No, we killed that.
Google Plus.
Grindr.
Yep. Looking for hot RPG dates in the area. Any goblins about? All right. So that's the end of the podcast. I've been Harrison Hunt.
I've been Nick Lambslice.
And remember that D20s are cool, but 20Ds, now that's a good time.
Nice.
Goodbye.